Welcome to PlayStation News, Rumours and Leaks. Let's take a look at what's been happening over the last few days in the world of gaming. Certainly exciting news if you're a Spider-Man 2 fan. Tony Todd, the voice actor behind Venom in Marvel's Spider-Man 2, has revealed that Miles Morales was originally going to be taken over by the symbiote, but these scenes were cut from the final version of the game. Speaking during a panel at the Fan Expo in San Francisco, Todd revealed that only around 10% of the dialogue he recorded for Spider-Man 2 made it into the final version of the game. So Insomniac Games has got around 90% of unused lines from the actor that may be saved for a future project if we're lucky. And knowing Insomniac, that's exactly what they're doing. The final version of Marvel's Spider-Man 2 obviously features Peter Parker having close relationship with the symbiote. Although Miles does have a few costumes that show what would happen if he were to be overtaken by it, including the Dark Ages and Absolute Carnage suits. Marvel's Spider-Man 2 was released for PS5 in October 2023 and sold over 5 million copies just after 10 days. Earlier this month, it was revealed that the superhero sequel is the 4th best-selling video game in the US year to date. This suggests that there's most definitely going to be some kind of DLC coming for Spider-Man 2, perhaps midway through next year. Fingers crossed for this one. Wouldn't it be amazing if during the Games Awards we get to see a Spider-Man 2 DLC? Imagine that. That would be absolutely amazing. And it's not as if they haven't got enough lines and dialogue and footage behind the scenes. They've got plenty to work with. And I would imagine, like we've had with the original Spider-Man which came out in 2018, I would imagine we will get a DLC. The game is too good not to have DLC. So I would expect something coming from PlayStation. They're keeping it under the hood right now, but I'd imagine something in 2024. But before I get too carried away, let's move on. Ubisoft's upcoming The Division Heartland has been rated in Taiwan, suggesting a release for the survival shooter could be closer than initially thought. The rating was applied on November the 14th, and while Ubisoft hasn't announced a release date for the game yet, typically when a game is rated, they are not usually too far off a release window. Ubisoft announced its free-to-play PC and console take on the Division series in 2021. It's planned to release across all the platforms except for Nintendo Switch. The original plan was to see the spin-off released sometime in 2021 or in 2022, but a quiet delay arrived shortly after its reveal, which saw the game pushed back to 2022 or 2023. We're now a month away from the year end, and Ubisoft still hasn't given us a solid release date for the Division Heartland. That said, X-Defiant and Assassin's Creed company hasn't completely kept quiet when it comes to the Division plans. Ubisoft unveiled a gameplay overview of the Division Heartland earlier this year. Footage brought 6 minutes of gameplay with commentary from the team behind the standalone project, and although its release plans have been murky, fans have been told they can eventually expect the Division 3 to release sometime in the future as well. The Division Heartland received a beta test in June of this year, and with the game being rated in Taiwan, this looks like a game that will be coming out sooner than later. If you like the video so far or find the video interesting or informative, then do me a favour guys, consider becoming a channel member. 3 tiers are available. I'll leave a link down below in the description on becoming a channel member. Be sure to check it out, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Moving on, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 hasn't even been out for a month, and reports are already appearing about what next year's Call of Duty title will be. A report from Windows Central claims that Call of Duty 2024 will indeed be the next game in the Black Ops series of titles, with Treyarch at the helm of its development. What's more is that the game will allegedly be set during the Gulf War in the 90s, focusing on the CIA, and possibly titled Call of Duty Black Ops Gulf War. This is all from Windows Central sources within Activision, so it's possible that certain details will change, and there remains to be plenty of questions around what we'll see out of next year's release. Particularly, there's still a question as to whether or not this new release will still be available on the PS4 and on other consoles, with rumours saying that it will be, which means Call of Duty won't be leaving the previous generation behind until 2025 or 2026, if the rumour that the 2024 version will have a 2-year life cycle ending up being true. I'm excited to learn more about Call of Duty Gulf War. It sounds great, but the fact that it may still support the PS4 and other older consoles, and probably even Series S, is a bit of a joke. Okay, maybe not the Series S because it's still technically a new console, but for goodness sake, can we just have developers focusing on current gen platforms rather than supporting the older platforms? I know why they support the older platforms. They have huge fan bases and not everyone has upgraded to a new console. I get it. Ultimately, there's money on the table. There's money to be made by supporting the older generation of platforms. So I get it. But the longer games are supported on older platforms, the longer it will take for games to truly hit that next gen fidelity, adopt radical new game design levels, and truly make the leap into next generation of game design. So for me personally, I really hope the next Call of Duty game, which is going to come out in 2024, that's 4 years after the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X and S have released. 4 years. I just hope that that version of the game supports only the current generation of platforms. That's all I ask for. I think we'll start to see games really move forward in leaps and bounds if that happens. Anyhow, let's move on to our final piece. Following reports that Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic is no longer in active development, Jason Schreier has revealed that Saber Interactive is still working on the game, but cannot say whether or not the project will actually see the light of day. Is it alive, and will it ever actually come out? Are two very different questions. He wrote this on Reset Era. The third is, if it does come out, what will it actually look like? Jason Schreier goes on to say that he has actually talked to two people who both say they are currently working on the game, so he doesn't believe that the comment that the game isn't being worked on in any way right now is true. He believes the game is actually being worked on. It was previously reported that Jeff Grubb claimed recently that Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake is not in development in any shape or form, although it now appears that this isn't actually the case. Still, it remains to be seen if the game will ever see the light of day. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic was originally announced exclusively for the PS5 back in late 2021, although we've heard very little on the game since. Very interesting take on where we are with KOTOR. Is it still in development or not? If it is, what's happening and so on. So lots of questions indeed about the game. Let's hope we find out over the coming weeks ahead. That's going to do it for the video, guys. Thank you for watching. If you could do me a favor and go ahead and hit the like and subscribe buttons, and I'll catch you on the next PlayStation news, rumors and leaks video.